In this video, I'll uncover the secret as to how you can use apple cider vinegar for weight loss. Now, there's a lot of ways that you can lose weight. You can follow a grueling workout routine, you can follow a really restrictive diet, or you can just add in some apple cider vinegar. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to talk about how to use apple cider vinegar for weight loss. We're going to talk about basically the mechanism as to how it works, the best time to drink it, and also how much that you need to actually drink in order to get some results. And at the end of this video, I'll share with you my top apple cider vinegar drink recipes that I know you'll love. But before we get started, I'm Dr. Zyrowski, and welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, it's a pleasure to have you here. Be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. Be sure to join our notification community. That way it can help you excel your health and your life. Now, let's go ahead and dive in. And first, what I want to talk about is the best apple cider vinegar to drink, because this is important. If you want to get results, you have to choose the right apple cider vinegar. And we want to make sure that we get one that contains the mother, okay? Now, this is important because when it contains the mother, that's going to be that cloudiness that you're going to see in the apple cider vinegar bottle. So you may see some that is just, crystal clear, and some that has this cloudy, kind of spider web looking stuff in it. Essentially, what that is the mother that has probiotics in it, it has enzymes, it has a lot of benefit to your overall health, very important for gut health. It's going to help you digest your food better. It's going to help with the weight loss process, and you'll see why in just a moment. So we want to make sure that we get apple cider vinegar that contains the mother. Now, we also want to make sure that we're getting unpasteurized ACV. So if you're getting pasteurized apple cider vinegar, you're going to get some that basically has been heated to a very high point, and it's going to damage the enzymes in it. It's going to damage the probiotics in it, and it's just not going to offer as much benefit. So we want to make sure that we're getting unpasteurized apple cider vinegar for the best results when it comes to weight loss. Now, last year, we want to get organic. The reason we want to get organic is because apples are one of the most highly sprayed foods out there. So if we're utilizing something to help improve our health, help us with weight loss, we don't want to be putting in all those toxins, which can actually set off an inflammatory pathway in the body, cause inflammation, and cause insulin resistance, which could cause us to gain weight. So we want to make sure that we're doing the right things here. So always buy organic when possible. Now, the other thing I want to mention here is if you're someone who does not like the liquid, what you can do is utilize the apple cider vinegar capsules. And what I'll do is I'll put a link to the one that I use in the description here below. But it's really the same thing. We want to make sure that it has the mother. We want to make sure that it's unpasteurized. We want to make sure it's raw. And we also want to make sure that it's coming from a good source of apples. So check that out. Let's go ahead and take this a step further. Apple cider vinegar for weight loss. How is this going to work? So let's kind of put this into context here. When we look at weight loss, there's a few things we need to do. We need to lower the blood sugar. We need to lower the insulin levels. We need to make sure that we are eating fewer calories. And then lastly, we need to, of course, make sure that we're eating a good, healthy diet. So apple cider vinegar is going to help pretty much with all of this. It's not going to be, it's not going to force you to eat a good, healthy diet, but it's going to help with all the other areas that it's capable of. So let's go through these one by one and talk about some of the science behind it as to how it can help you. So first of all, it's going to help decrease blood sugar. They did this study where they went and they took 11 people, and then 1 hour after their meal, they checked their blood sugar. If they consumed apple cider vinegar, what they found is that 1 hour post-meal, they were able to decrease their blood sugar by 55%. That's really big. And so when you decrease your blood sugar, you're going to help decrease your insulin levels, which is very important as well. So simply going in and adding some apple cider vinegar with your meal is going to be really, really powerful stuff here. Now, when we talk about insulin, this is important too, because I've talked about insulin in the past. Basically, if insulin's just skyrocketed in your body, then you can't lose weight. When you have really high insulin levels, you actually store fat. So if we want to actually lose fat, lose weight, we have to bring those insulin levels down, and the apple cider vinegar is going to help do that by going and decreasing that blood sugar. It's going to decrease that insulin, and it's going to put us in a state in which we can actually burn fat for energy. So this is all just part of that weight loss process, and apple cider vinegar supports you. Now, the next year is it's going to lower your fasting blood sugar. Now, this is important for a lot of reasons. What they did, for one, is they took some diabetics, and when they combined apple cider vinegar with like a protein, for instance, what they found is they were able to actually decrease their fasting blood sugar by 50%. Now, that is huge. Those are really big numbers. So simply adding that in with another food, it was really, really beneficial. Now, the other thing about lowering your fasting blood sugar is I like using apple cider vinegar for fasting. And the reason for that is because you can drive that blood sugar lower, you can drive insulin levels lower, you can help reverse insulin resistance. A lot of people have insulin resistance. Even healthy people have insulin resistance in many cases. And so, well, let's say people who are perceived to be healthy. And so when we utilize this, it just really makes sure that we're, doing the right things in order to improve insulin sensitivity. So utilizing it for that purpose and also for this purpose here, it's going to help suppress appetite. Now, they did this study, and I had mentioned before too, if we want to lose weight, we also have to eat fewer calories, right? So they did this study, and what they found is that those people who included apple cider vinegar into their daily routine actually consumed between 200 and 275 fewer calories. So this is powerful, okay? So we can use apple cider vinegar to go in and help suppress our appetite when fasting, right? Because, it might get in our head a little bit that we're hungry, maybe we're getting some hungry pains. It helps suppress your appetite. I really like it for that reason when fasted. But also, just on a day-to-day basis, it's gonna help us eat fewer calories. There's a couple reasons that this helps suppress your appetite. For one, is very satiating, so it helps you feel full. But the other way that it really helps is that it lowers your stomach emptying. And by doing so, it makes you feel full for longer. So apple cider vinegar helps you eat fewer calories in these ways, which is going to support your weight loss goals that you have. Next here is it's going to help improve insulin sensitivity. Okay, now there's a lot of different studies out there on how apple cider vinegar can improve insulin sensitivities. I'll talk about one in particular. Basically, what they found is that people who had insulin resistance, who went and added in the apple cider vinegar, they were actually able to improve their insulin sensitivity by 34%. Really powerful for those people who are trying to lose weight, who are trying to bring down their insulin levels, their blood sugar levels, improve that sensitivity. Apple cider vinegar is so simple to add into your daily routine, and it offers a lot of benefit there. Now, let's go ahead and talk about supporting weight loss. There was a study that they did in Japan. They took a whole bunch of obese individuals. There was 144 people, and what they did is did a 12-week study. They had people who were on the placebo, they had people who were on apple cider vinegar, and they had people who were on nothing at all. Now, basically, the people who were utilizing apple cider vinegar were able to lose 4 pounds during that period of time. Now, this is pretty interesting because the people who actually were not on the apple cider vinegar, they actually gained weight, okay? So you might think, well, that's only 4 pounds. Well, that's 4 pounds compared to actually gaining weight, and that's not a big deal to just add in some apple cider vinegar throughout your day. So what you have to look at here is that apple cider vinegar can help you with that fat loss, whereas not adding it in, you may actually be going and gaining some weight. So really interesting stuff there, and that is how it can support with that fat loss and weight loss, and it's also going to support your gut health. Now, you may or may not know this, but there's different probiotics that are really necessary when it comes to weight loss. Specifically, there's some probiotics that a lot of companies are targeting in order to try to help people lose weight. And so when we look at the apple cider vinegar, it's going to help with weight loss in the way of actually giving you those good digestive enzymes. It's going to help give you those good probiotics. It's going to support making sure that your gut is functioning properly so that you can actually lose weight. When it comes to weight loss, it's not only about insulin resistance, but it's also about a healthy gut. As a matter of fact, I always say, people who have insulin resistance typically also have an unhealthy gut. So this all just goes together in order to help you lose weight and get the weight loss results that you want to have. Now, if you're a subscriber, stick around because we're about to get into the important part here. Now, when to drink apple cider vinegar for best results? Okay, this is really important here. So there's a lot of options. So first of all, there's morning. One of the reasons I love apple cider vinegar in the morning is simply because you can wake up, you can add some sea salt to it, and when you do that, it just creates an overall balance in the body. It has a pH balancing effect, it has that acetic acid in it, it also is going to give you electrolytes if you put some sea salt in, and a lot of people who go and add apple cider vinegar in the morning, they basically find that they feel more energized and they just feel better. And so putting it in the morning is good because it just helps create balance throughout the entire body, and it also is going to help lower your blood sugar, your fasted blood sugar, if you haven't eaten yet. Next here is while fasting. Now, there's a couple of reasons I like it while fasting. First of all, it's satiating. It's going to help drive down your blood sugar levels, but also you can go in and add a few things that can even help you with your fast, like adding in those electrolytes. So utilizing apple cider vinegar while fasting will help you get better results with your fast in a lot of ways. So, don't overlook apple cider vinegar when it comes to intermittent fasting, 1 meal a day, and so on and so forth. So it's going to help with that whole process. Next is before meals. Okay, this is powerful because like I mentioned before, there was a study where they actually were able to decrease your blood sugar 55% 1 hour after a meal by simply having apple cider vinegar with the meal. So if you're someone who just wants to, really have that blood sugar balancing effect every time you have a meal, you can add in some apple cider vinegar. But the other thing that you can do too here is that you can add in apple cider vinegar in order to help drive down your insulin levels, and then even utilize it if you're going and having a meal that you know is not going to be really healthy, right? Let's say you go to a friend's house and the only food that they have is some high carb food and you're going to be eating it. Add in some apple cider vinegar right there. You can utilize it right then and there. And if you don't have the liquid, you could always carry some capsules with you. You can add it in there. It'll help keep your blood sugar low and also help you in a time of need when you're eating those high carb meals. Now, before bed. Before bed is good for a couple reasons. First of all, at night, it's going to just drive down your blood sugar levels so that you are able to get a better fast throughout the night. And also, it's going to help create balance within the pH. So a lot of people, they'll go to sleep at night and they'll have some acidity issues, which is causing some indigestion that's coming up and causing a little burning in here. The apple cider vinegar, because it's helping balance out your pH, will help with not only the indigestion and the acid reflux, but it'll help lower that fasted blood sugar. So when you wake up in the morning, your blood sugar is much lower than if you didn't use apple cider vinegar at all. Let's go ahead and talk about the next important part, and that is the details, because the details matter, and let's talk about what they found based on the research. Now, how often? Now, basically what it really comes down to is 1 to 2 times daily. Now, a lot of people are going to see this and they go, okay, so I need to drink apple cider vinegar for all of these different times right here. No, basically what you got to do is just pick a couple and stick with them. Pick whatever ones work for you, because really what you want to do is 1 to 2 times daily. We don't want to overdo it, but we also want to make sure that we're getting results. So utilizing it 1 to 2 times daily is going to be the best methods in which work, the best methods in which I see people in my clinic get the results when it comes to weight loss. So now let's go ahead and look at how much. When we look at the research here, it points to the same amounts time and time again, 1 to 2 tablespoons. And so when we want to lower our blood sugar after a meal, 1 to 2 tablespoons. When we want to get the most benefits from fasting, 1 to 2 tablespoons, 1 to 2 times a day. So you have a little bit of movement in which you can, go once a day, twice a day, or just 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons during each of those times. So that's really up to you. I will say when it came to the research in weight loss, what they found is that the higher dose actually gave better results. So the people who were drinking 1 tablespoon did not get as good of results as the people who were drinking 2 tablespoons. So take that into consideration there. So this is how often and how much. Now, if you want to get all my favorite apple cider vinegar drinks, I'll put a link in the description to a download that has all of them in it. You're going to really enjoy them. Many people have downloaded it and really gave us amazing feedback saying they loved these different apple cider vinegar drinks we put together for you. And also be sure to check out my other videos over here on apple cider vinegar that are going to help you improve your health. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. We do lots of videos on intermittent fasting, weight loss, reversing health conditions, all the things you love. Hit that bell notification so you never miss a video that is coming up in the future. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And then also let me know in the comment section right here below how you utilize apple cider vinegar for great results. I'd love to know, and I'll see you in the next video.